Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Kisha. In case you're new here, I make all kinds of videos. Most of them right now are on Patreon. If you have not checked out my Patreon page, that is linked below. It is affordable for everybody. It's where I share my most private stuff. But today I thought, you know what? I'm in the car. I have some things I want to say, and I'm on lunch right now. Like, I can't really film in the office the way I would like to, but I thought, you know, this is life. This is the way we are because time is flying by every single day. As soon as I get home, just take care of my son, take care of my family, take care of my home, and then finally I get on the list and take care of myself. And I just don't have all the time in the world. So some of these videos just have to be from the car. So right now, I am wanting to talk about Sarah Boone. It's not a trial I really wanted to follow, but I got sucked in like so many of you guys. And right now, the trial is going on. And she is being tried for the murder of her boyfriend, George. And it's a strange case, you guys. She's being charged with second-degree murder for zipping him in a suitcase and letting him die. I think there's so many things to look at with this. Like, they basically were two adults drinking like crazy, and they were playing hide and seek, and I don't know, doing some other random stuff, crafts, maybe some coloring. I can't remember everything she said. But in a game of hide and seek, she zipped him into a suitcase. She saw him in there, and she zipped him in. He was trying to hide. And then she refused to let him out. So he stayed in that suitcase. Eventually she went upstairs, fell asleep, woke up the next day, and thought he was downstairs eating and hanging out and maybe looking for a job. And nope. She got down there. She saw that suitcase. She had the flashback to him being in it, so she says. She pulled him out, did CPR, and instead of calling 911, she called her ex-husband, who told her to call 911. It's a mess, right? Like, before we dive into what the prosecutor thinks, I mean, we all know what he thinks anyway, basically. Drinking and drinking and drinking never is a good thing to do. And I don't know how many people would think somebody would die the way he died. Like, could you really suffocate through a cloth? Because it's like a cloth kind of material suitcase. Some people would probably assume you can't die that way, while others probably, obviously, would assume you can. I think that as we talk about this, there was domestic violence in and out of the relationship. She called the police many, many times. So there's that factor into it. The prosecutor thinks that this was intentional, with like malicious intent to punish him basically for the domestic violence, because she decided, like an idiot, to pull out her camera and record him begging to be let out, saying he couldn't breathe. And she's like, "This is for everything you've done to me. How's it feel now?" You know, she was just being vengeful and being drunk and recording it. And so, you know, I don't think she was really trying to kill him. That's not what I really think happened. I think she really was trying to punish him for the domestic violence, which she has denied. It was just a game. It all went bad. That's what she's basically said. I thought she was just angry and felt like she was in control. That's what those videos show me. Like, here I am. I'm the one in control right now. And while all this is going on, he's getting his little hand out of the suitcase. Mind you, he's only 103 pounds. Pretty small guy. She was like 100 pounds. or thereof, somewhere in that area, and she decides to get a bat and poke at his hand and hit the suitcase. Like, she was also in trial yesterday, and her, the prosecutor, this is a fast trial. Let me just rewind. Fast, you guys. They are not messing around. The judge has an amazing voice. I think the prosecutor has a really nice voice as well. And I think Sarah was so soft-spoken, it totally kind of shook me right when she started talking. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, I wonder if maybe, maybe she really didn't mean to. It kind of started flipping a switch. I really never thought she meant to kill him. I do think she meant to punish him. And she said she didn't let him out because of his tone. That she was scared that he was going to hurt her. She said that he was going to make her unrecognizable and kill her. So she was in court yesterday, and the prosecution rested. The defense got up. She was the first witness. I absolutely love that. I love it. There's no messing around. Put her on. Let's hear what she has to say. And now they got the experts coming in. I know so many of you guys are watching this. I am amazed by it, like, for real. She was demonstrated to ask how his body was in the suitcase and how it was zipped up, and she had gloves on, and she was down there. She looked very plain Jane. She denied doing anything basically to help him, like, get out of that. She was not, like, on the stand denying stuff. It wasn't feisty a whole lot. I mean, I saw some coverage where Emily thought she was a little feisty. I really didn't get that same impression. I thought she was rather calm. And for all the stuff she's already pulled, I was shocked at how reserved and calm she was, how soft-spoken she was. The fear of prison for the rest of her life might be part of the reason she's staying very calm right now. She's been through many attorneys. There's been many issues. They don't agree on how to represent her. She wants to be represented in a certain way, and her attorneys might feel, that they need to be representing her in a different way. I think anybody who has been following this trial knows that they both had so much to drink. It doesn't, big bottles. They were out yesterday, huge bottles of wine, lots of drinking, and I think she probably doesn't remember a whole hell of a lot from that night. And I feel like, these cameras get us all in trouble, you guys. Like, they get everybody in trouble. Her actions actually are what got her in trouble. But what's sealing the deal for me is those videos of her holding the phone up, him begging for help, her not taking it seriously, and just kind of chastising him. This is what you get. And so, she didn't come across in any of the body cameras or anything like that as evil, as malicious, as mean. She wasn't calculating. Like, she didn't try to ever deny it, that it was she that put him in that suitcase and zipped it up. She didn't even ask for a lawyer. She didn't offer any explanations on what happened other than, I put him in for a joke, fell asleep, woke up, and he was gone. Like, I actually believe that's what she thinks happened. That's basically kinda is what's happened. I'm sorry about the loud car. I thought she would be a little more rowdy on the stand. I also thought that if she really could explain that it was a mistake, wasn't intentional. She explained how much she loved him. And, and I don't think people understand sometimes how easy it really is for a human to die. Like, putting somebody in a cloth, there is some other materials in there, but it's a cloth. It's not one of the hard suitcases like what I have, or so many of you have. Like, I don't believe in my heart that she thought he was going to die. And I think a lot of people misunderstand how easy it is to kill somebody sometimes when you don't mean to. Accidents happen. Like, I just never found this case that interesting, except for the fact that obviously there was a victim. He has a family and loved ones, and he means something to somebody. She obviously, you know, she came from a weird family. She had a lot of deaths early on. Grandmother, father, mother, like just a mess in terms of family and having stability. And I think they both were drinking too much and partying and arguing and fighting. And when she spoke to the tone, like, I've lived some of that life. I have a man in my life who drinks too much, who bangs on my door. And I'll tell you what, there have been times I have not let him in the house because of his tone. That rung entirely true to me. I believe there was domestic violence. There's videos, there's photos, there's reports where she's called the police. One of the officers were just on the stand just less than a couple hours ago. And yeah, like, I believe all that is included in her story. Like, all of it. Like, it all equaled, like, all the conditions came together that night for an accident to happen. I do believe it was an accident. That's my thought. I thought that the video she made was really awful. Like, maybe it would have been funny if he would have lived, but being that he didn't, that video is so bad. And I think she has remorse. I definitely believe that. I don't think she thought this was going to happen. I think she will be found guilty of manslaughter. There's mitigating and aggravating circumstances. I don't think there's a lot of mitigating, but there's definitely a ton of aggravating factors that will play into her sentencing. But I think she's going to jail for a really long time, and I don't know how you get around that. I appreciate her honesty. Like, I appreciate the defense putting her up first. I love that. Like, if you're going to get up on the stand, I really like that. Like, there's no one before you, and you're the main one. So let's get you up. Let's get through it and get over it. It wasn't a ton of questioning. It was rather fast. It was shockingly fast. I kept up through another legal eagle that I love, Emily D. Baker. I kept up through the Daily Mail. I have updates coming to my phone. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. I wanted to share this. I have so many thoughts about different trials. I know there's other YouTubers much bigger than me putting their thoughts out, but this is my little section of the internet world, and I'm wanting to share. So that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. And if you're not on Patreon, I want you to know that all videos that come on YouTube always go on there before they're shared. It's another one of those perks. So hopefully you guys get over there and check it out, and let me know also in the comments here on YouTube what you think. It'd be interesting to see. We're going to have many other talks. There's so many trials coming up. I have compassion basically for everybody. Like, I have compassion for Sarah. I have compassion for George. Like, life happens. And I pray that I'm never in that spot, or any of you guys are ever in that spot. But just remember that you can suffocate inside of a suitcase, in case you didn't know. Like, even though it's cloth, like, I was like, I don't know about that. But, obviously the position of his body had something to do with his breathing abilities, how much air he could get in through that lined suitcase, even though it was cloth on the outside or whatever. And it was like a weaved material. And let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to hear. Have a great day. Bye.